Hi there, welcome back. How are you today? So in this beautiful video, we wanted to talk about something that came up in one of the comments, and that's why I love receiving the comments so much, because it always brings forward new information. And I'll read it here so that I don't lose track, and then we'll go from there. The comment was about others not being able to love us the way we deserve. This was the comment, not in those words, but similar. And this is what came through at the time, and we're going to expand on that in a second. So the information I was given to pass on to that person was that others can only love you where they're at. What does this mean? If the other person hasn't been shown love, how can they know how to express love? It's not that the other person can't love you. It's just that they don't know how. And that in itself packs quite a huge punch. That in itself is quite amazing. Just those few little bits that I received to pass on to this person. We sit and we feel that this person can't love us the way that we deserve to be loved. And when we look at it that way, we are the victim. They can't love us. This was me for a very long time with my mum. Why can't she love me the way I deserve to be loved? Now, looking back, my mum showed her love in so many different ways. So many. But never in a way that I understood. She showed her love in how I was dressed, and I had the most beautiful clothes when I was growing up, and we weren't allowed to wear secondhand clothes. They all had to be new for us. New shoes. I always had beautiful new shoes, and I would go, she would take me to get fitted to make sure these shoes would be perfect for my feet. They wouldn't hurt my feet. My mum showed her love in her cooking. That's how she expressed her love. But to me, and there were so many other ways that my mum showed her love, expressed her love. But I didn't understand them. I didn't understand these ways. To me, I felt, until I was much, much older, well into my 40s, I believed that my mum didn't love me, because the ways that she expressed love to me was not love. It didn't feel like love to me. Having said that, when my mum was 5, she lost both of her parents, and she went to live with an aunt who already had children of her own, and they were growing up in a poor suburb in South America, and they were extra mouths to feed. That's how she was treated in this new house that she was adopted into. There was no love there. She was just an extra mouth to feed. These are the stories I grew up with. So from the age of 5, my mum doesn't know what love looks like. She was never shown love in a way that she could later in life use to express to others that this is love. This is what love looks like. And to different people, love looks different. I've known people that don't like to be touched. My mum's actually one of them, but I've known others that don't like to be touched. They don't like to be hugged. Does that mean that they don't want to be loved? That they don't like being loved? Just because they don't want you to hug them? You may be one of them out there. You just don't like being hugged. You don't like being touched by others. There's a sensitivity within you towards others touching you or hugging you or showing any kind of affection in that way. You want your personal space. I know people like this. And yet, with people like this, I have learned to express love in so many other ways. Just being present when they talk to you, be present, pay attention, listen. These are ways that we can show love. When someone is talking to you, give them your undivided attention. Show them that you're listening. Not listening to add to it, like give advice or, put in your 10 cents worth, as we say here. That's not listening. Just listen to them express themselves, listen to what it is that they're sharing. Without having to put in anything, just listen to them. Some people, this is all they want. They just want to be heard. They've never been heard. Help them to feel seen. Some people have never felt seen in their lives. None of these things require touching. None of them. But how many of us go through life feeling unseen? I was one of them. Invisible was mine. I felt invisible the moment my sister was born, and I felt cast aside. I went through most of my life feeling this way. So to be with people that don't like being touched and to give them that gift of being seen. I see you. I'm here, I'm sitting with you, I'm present, I'm listening to whatever it is that you have to share. This is love. There are so many ways to show someone you love them. So many ways. And this is from you, from your point of view. But when others can't love us, for so long we take it on as, oh, we're the ones at fault. There's something wrong with us that they can't love us. This is the perspective. But what if it's not? What if there is absolutely nothing wrong with you? And it's just that the other person doesn't know how to express their love. They just don't know how. They've never been shown love. They don't know what it looks like. They grew up without it. Imagine growing up and not knowing what it is to feel loved by others, by your parents, by the people that are raising you. How do you go into the world? How would you even know how to express love if it's never been shown to you? How do you know? Because many things, we learn them and we pass them on to our children. But if that's something that you haven't been shown, you haven't been gifted love by your parents, how do you know what that looks like to give to others? How do you know? I guess one way is you know what that looks like, the not being loved. You know what that feels like, and you don't want others to go through that. And so you imagine within yourself what love looks like to you. Does love look like someone hugging you? Then this is what I will do. I will hug others. Does love look like being held when you're afraid? Then this is what I will do. I will hold the ones I love when they're afraid. So one way is to imagine what you would have liked to have received and to do that. That's what I did the moment my daughter was born. I had all these ideas, all the things that I wish I had received as a child, that to me would have felt like love, and I never received. And I gave that all to her. All of it, when the time was right. Because when she was born, she was the same as me. I was this, apparently, I didn't like being hugged. I didn't like being kissed. I didn't like being held. When I was little, I would push people away. And my daughter was the same. She started off the same. But as you get older, You feel a need for these things inside of you. This wanting to be hugged, wanting to be held, holding hands. All these beautiful things that we come here to experience as human beings that are expressions of love. And things that I didn't even imagine that I would be doing with her. Things like kissing her forehead every night before bed. And when I do this, I imagine I'm kissing her spirit. And she kisses my forehead and we say goodnight. And it always feels like my spirit and her spirit are saying goodnight. It's such a beautiful feeling. That's an extra gift, something I wasn't imagining before. It wasn't on my list. But the things for me that were huge on my list was the being seen, the being heard. I always made time to listen. Always made time to make sure that she knew that I could see her as she was. Not how I needed her to be, but as she was, as she is. Who she is. Not who I need her to be. Not who I want her to be. But just who she is. I'm just using her as an example because you can do this for anybody. Humans, this is one of the things that all humans crave. The being seen, the being heard, the being held, even if you're not holding them with your arms because they don't like being touched. You can still hold someone by being present, fully present. And holding the space of love for them to be who they are without you needing them to be anything else, without you wanting them to be anything else that they're not, but just seeing them as they are and loving that. It's such a beautiful thing to give to someone else. The most beautiful gift, I think. Accepting someone as they are. All right, my beautiful beings. So in this beautiful video, it's more about looking at if others can't love you, perhaps it's because they don't know how. It's got nothing to do with you. It's not that you've done something. You haven't done anything wrong. It's not you. It's their experiences before you even came along. You know? Because depending on what they've been through is what they are capable of. That's where that beautiful line came from. Others can only love you where they're at. So, my beautiful beings, there's two sides to this beautiful video today. One is to accept that how others love you is how they can love you. It's their capacity. It has nothing to do with you. And the other side of this beautiful video is how you can love more fully. How you can be the expression of love in this world. Helping others to feel seen. Helping others to feel heard. Helping others to feel held. Just by holding the space of love for them. All right, my beautiful beings. We love you very much. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And we'll see you in the next video. Remember to share the videos. Somebody may need this message today. Bye for now.